Hey besties, welcome back to the channel. My name is Susan, and today we are going to be making this beautiful gown that you're seeing on the thumbnail. If this sounds like what you like to learn, stay on the line while we get started. We're actually going to be using this fabric. It's about 3 yards of fabric. So I'm going to be using pattern paper to drape the upper bodice. So guys, I want to use this opportunity to thank all my returning subscribers. Thank you so much for your support, and to you that just came across my channel, please subscribe. Thank you. So I'll just go ahead and mark my starting line 1 inch. I'm keeping it up. From here, this is where I'm going to take all my measurements downwards. So guys, this is me just trying to take my bust point. My bust point is 10 and my under bust is 13.05 and my half length is 16 for the front, and I'm going to add about 2 inches for stitching allowance. I'll just go ahead and mark a straight line so I'll know where I'm going to take my measurements, my round body measurements. So guys, go ahead and do same. So from here, this is where I'm going to take all my body measurements. So I'm just going to take my shoulder measurements divided by 2 plus half inch. I'll also come down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope because the shoulder are not equal. I'm going to use neck depth of 3 inches because I don't want mine to be wide, and I'm going to come down by about 8 inches. That's on my chest line. That is what I'm going to come down with. I do not want my own to get to under bust. However, I'm still going to show you how you're going to achieve it. If you want your own to be exactly how it is on the picture, I'll show you how you're going to do that. But this is how I want mine to be. I don't want it to be wide, or I just want it to be normal. So from my shoulder slope, I'm going to come down by my armhole. My armhole is my shoulder divided by 2, 7.5 plus. So that is exactly what I used, 7.5 for my armhole. And I'm just going to confirm that I have 8 inches, as I'm going to take my shoulder measurement down to my armhole point. This is what I mean, 8 inches. 8 inches there. So I'm just going to go ahead just like this. I'm going to confirm. Yes. So guys, I'm also going to slope my shoulder to meet my neckline. That is it. So we are going to find the midpoint of our armhole, and we are going to mark it, and from our midpoint we are going to come in by half inch because our armhole at the front is actually deeper than the back. So we are going to come in by that half inch, and we are just going to take my bust measurement divided by 4 so we can connect our armhole. So that is it. So from this point, you're just going to connect it this way, connect it to that dot, and from there you're just going to connect it to your bust measurement that you measured. Just go ahead and blend so it's not sharp. So we have our armhole and we have our neckline. So guys, let's go ahead and take our body measurement. So I'm just going to use my bust measurement, and I'm going to add half inch for ease at my bust. I'm going to also use my under bust measurement divided by 4 plus half inch for ease, and at my waist I'm going to use my waist divided by 4 plus half inch for ease. So after that, I'm just going to go ahead and connect this way. Just go ahead and connect, and I'll also go ahead and connect it to, just draw a straight line to meet your aim line, just like that guys. So we just go ahead and blend. So So now that we are done with everything, we are going to go ahead to label. So this is my shoulder line, this is my chest line, and this is my bust point, this is my under bust point UB, and this is my waistline, that is my aim line. So guys, we're actually done with our front bodies. So now let's go ahead and cut. So before we cut, let's go ahead and add our shoulder allowance. This is ½ inch that we're going to use to join the back shoulder and the front shoulders together. So add it. Yes, I'm just going to go ahead and connect, and that is it. So guys, I'll just go ahead to cut this back so we can go ahead and take our bust darts. So this is me cutting through the neck and cutting through everything. So this is what we now have. So I'm going to come down by 1.5. that is the difference between my back half length and my front half length. So this is me just marking my nipple to nipple, so I'll know exactly where my bust dart will stop. So from my nipple to nipple, I'm just going to come up by 1 inch there, guys, 1 inch. So I don't want the dart to be on the nipple, so before the nipple, just come down just like this, connect it. So this place is going off. This is going to take care of the back half length, because my back half length is actually 14 and a half, while the front is actually 16. So now that I have taken this out, I'm going to make it equal at the sides. The sides are going to be equal, but the front is going to be the same. The front is still going to be 16, but the sides is going to be the same with the back. So that is the reason for that, because if you don't take it like that, it's going to make everything is going to be big. It will not be fine, it will not give you that fittings. So this is me just because I noticed it was smaller when I was done joining, so I just added an extra paper to cut it. And this is it, guys. So let me go ahead and explain to you what I mean by, if you want your own to be exactly as it is on the thumbnail, like if you want your neckline to go deep, this is how you're going to do, guys. You know I stopped mine at the chest line, but this one you're just going to come up from your under bust, just come up by ½ inch. That ½ inch is what you're going to use in joining this other part to the other part. That's ½ inch. Then your neck width is going to be 3.5. So from this, your shoulder, you're going to connect. You're just going to connect this way, and you're going to cut it off. That is going to give you that neckline that you have on the thumbnail. This is if that is how you want it to be. So this is how you're going to cut. Every other things are going to be the same. It is just this neckline. Everything is the same. It's just the neckline that is going to be different. So guys, let's go ahead now and cut the back pattern. So I've gone ahead to measure my zip allowance 1.5 inch. You can use 2 inches or anyhow you want it. So from my zipper allowance, I'm just going to take exactly 3 inches that I took for the front, and my neck depth for the back is going to be 1 inch for the back. So I'm just going to connect it this way. I just connect it. So that's our back neck. From there, I'll take my shoulder measurement divided by 2, that is 7.5. I'm going to add ½ inch for stitching allowance, and I'm still going to come down by 1 inch for our shoulder slope, because our shoulders are not sloped. And from there, I'm going to go ahead and measure my shoulder measurement. Let's go ahead and connect my shoulder slope to the neckline. So from there, we are going to take our armhole, my shoulder divided by 2. That's going to give me my armhole, and I just did exactly that there. So I took my shoulder measurement at that armhole point. So I'm just going to, from here, I'm going to connect it this way. So we now have our armhole line. So now we are going to go ahead to take our bust measurement just to know where we are. My bust is 37 divided by 4, and I'm going to go ahead also to connect it this way, and from there I'm going to also go in by my midpoint, and I'm just going to go in by 1/4 of an inch. I will not make it up to 1/2 inch. I'll just go in by 1/4 of an inch, and from there I'm just going to connect to give me that armhole. I'll just use my hand to connect it, and I form my armhole for the back, and that is it. We are done for that. And so let's go ahead and take our measurement. So from my shoulder to my bust point is 10, and there is no under bust, so I'm just going to take my waist, which is 14 and a half. Remember what I told you about the bust dart. So my waist measurement for the back is actually 14.5. You can measure it by yourself because there is no bust, so it's 14.5. so I'm just going to add the same 2 inches I added for seam allowance at the front. I'll still add it at the back, and that is what we have, guys. So I'm just going to go ahead to draw a straight line indicating, so I'll know exactly where to take my round body measurement. So that is it, guys. So for this back, I'm just going to go ahead to connect. Then for the back, I'm going to take that. We didn't take that at the front, so I'm going, because there is a style at the waist region in the front. So but for the back, we are going to take that for the back. So I'm also going to go up by my chest line, which is 8. So because my dart is going to be 1 inches below my chest line. So if you measure from your shoulder, your dart should start from 9 inches downward. This also depends on how tall, and that is it. So I'm just going to take my bust measurement, and I'm going to add the same 1/2 inch. The reason why I'm adding 1/2 inch is because there is no cup, so you don't want it to be, if you make it so tight without a cup, it's going to give you issues. So I added that 1/2 inch for ease, and so you can be able to breathe, because without the cup, when there is a cup, it's just stay inside that cup, but this one there is no cup, so yes, so it will not be too tight because there is no cup. So that is it. You cannot use the same measurement you're using for bustier at the bust region. You cannot use it. You cannot use the same. It's not going to come out well. Yeah, so this is me just connecting it to my waist. Please like this video. Thank you. My waist is 30 divided by 4, that's 7.5. So this is what we have, guys, for the, so I'm just gonna label it: my chest line, my bust point, my waistline, and my aim line. So I'm just going to take my nipple to nipple, which is 7 divided by 2, that is 3.5. 7 divided by 2, 3.5. 3.5. I'll just draw the 3.5 across my bust point, my chest line, and my arm length, and I'm just going to go ahead to draw a straight line, so I'll know where to take my dart, guys. So that is it. So I'm just going to take 1 inch dart, so I'm going to take 1/2 inch on both sides. That's going to make it 1 inch. So take it on the waist, and from the waist you're going to go ahead and connect it down to 1 inch below your chest line. You can even make it to the shoulder. You can even tear it. You can tear it, and you add your extra inches that you're going to use to sew it back. But I don't want to tear it, so I'm just going to, I don't want to cut it out, so I'm just going to go ahead and take my dart just like this. So from your waist, just take it down. So guys, we have our that. So I'm just going to go in and take my 1 inch that I took for my dart. My dart is actually 1 inch. I'm going to replace it. I've replaced the 1 inch. So I'm just going to connect from my bust point down to my aim for my waist, and from my waist to my aim line, and that is it, guys. So this place is where I'm going to actually take my dart. So that is it, guys, for the back. So I'm going to go ahead now to draw that line, and I'm also going to take out 1/2 inch from my zipper. I'm going to take out 1/2 inch. Do not forget that this 1/2 inch that I'm taking out, when I'm sewing the zip, I'm still going to take 1.5 inches. That means I'm going to go in by 1/2 inch out of my measurements. That means I'm going to deduct 1/2 inch from this zip side. I'm taking out 1/2 inch. I'm still going to take, the zip allowance is actually 1.5, so I'm taking out 1/2 inch from my waist. When I'm joining it, when I'm adding my zip, I'm still taking that 1.5. I will take exactly my zip measure. My zip is going to be the same, like I will take it exactly, meaning I'm going to go in. So let's just go in and take my shoulder allowance. Remember, we took for the front, so we're also going to take for the back. So if you've watched this video to this point, please, I want to beg you to please subscribe. Please like this video, turn on the notification button. Please, this means a whole lot to me. So guys, I'm just going to go ahead and reduce my front measurements by 1 inch, because I'm going to add it back at the back, because I want it to overlap. Like, I want it to overlap. I don't want anything coming up and all of that. So that is just, I'm just going to minus 1 inch. Remember, our allowances are there, so I'm just going to minus 1 inch from the front, and I'm going to cut it out. I'm going to cut my 1 inch out, and I'm going to replace it here by 1 inch. I'm going to still replace that 1 inch over here. This is totally optional. Even if you don't replace it, even if you don't cut it out, you do it, it's the same thing. But I just want to do it for my own. So you can sew it without cutting it out. You can sew it without doing what I'm just doing now, but I want to do it for my own, because I like how it will just lie down very well on the body. So guys, I'm just going to go ahead to make sure that they are the same over here, and if they are not the same, I'm going to trim it out. So I'm going to trim it out so it will be the same. So let's just go ahead and measure here the back. Yep. So guys, you can see from the sides they are the same. From the side they are the same. It's only the front that is still long. So but the back is going to be the sides are going to be the same. So we are just going to go ahead now and keep our back pattern so we can work on the front pattern. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut it on the lining, because I'm actually using a lining. I use it and cut on the lining because we are going to tear it. There is a Basque defect, so we are going to go ahead and do it after you've cut on your lining. So guys, from this, just come up by 1/2 inch from your underbust. From your underbust, come up by 1/2 inch, and from your underbust at sides, come down by 1 inch. and from there you're just going to connect just this way to give you that there is a slant basket at the under bust region. So just come up this way, then half an inch from here. It depends on what you want. You can actually do more. You can come up by 1 inch, you can go down by 1.5, or anyhow you want it. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut. The basket did not really show, it's just a very slight look at it. You can see how it is here. So that is it. I don't want to come up too much because it's bust, so you need something to hold the bust at the bust under bust. So we are just going to go ahead now, after, because we've cut our lining, so we are going to go ahead now to slash and spread, because there is splittings at that waist region. So we are going to slash and spread so we can have our platings. You cannot plait with this because this is the exact measurement, so you cannot plait with it. So you need to spread it. So I'm just going to tear this out. I've already gone ahead to label it. I'm going to tear it so I can put it on a fresh paper and make it wider, just like this, guys. So this is going to, I'm just taking 2 inches. It depends on what you want to use and also the amount of fabric that you have. And do not forget that that is the waist region, so the waist is supposed to be fitted, so you don't want to do too much so that the waist will not, like, we are trying to make the waist to be small now, so you're not going to do too much so it will not make the waist to be big or something like that. So I just used 2 inches. I actually used 2 inches for my own. You can use 3 or you can use more depending on what you want. So that is it, guys. So you can use 3 though. So I'm just going to give spaces of 2 inches. Just going to give space of 2 inches, and when I'm done, I'm just going to chalk the down and I'll chalk the up, so I'll know I have exactly the same shape, guys. I know I have exactly the same shape. So this is it, guys. Just go ahead and measure. That's the last one we want to add, and after you're done, please just go ahead and chalk it, chalk the up and down before you cut it out. Chalk it before you cut it out. So when I was done, I'm just trying to see what I'm going to have here. You know, I'm going to cut this on fold. It's going to be on fold. So this is just the one side of the, this is one part. I'm cutting it on fold. Like, I'm placing this brown paper and I'm cutting it on fold, guys. So this is when I was done. I've used my pattern paper for the back. I've cut for the fabric. I added my 2 inches for the front. 1.5 is for the sewing allowance, and this front I added 1.5 and I added ½ inch extra because the front, because this front is going to have a cut. So this is 2 inches that I added. It's going to have a cut here. I'm going to cut it and I'm going to stitch it back. So that ½ inch is because of that. So that is it. Look at our slash and spread. So guys, the full length of this dress is actually 38. So I'm going to, I use 16 for the half length. I'm going to divide the rest that is remaining, that's 24, divide it by 2, that's 11 and 11. And for my second tier, it's going to be 2 layers. I'm going to cut it 3, that's my waist measurement times 3. I'll cut it, then I'll cut a smaller one. It's going to be double at the second tier, and the third I'm just going to cut 11 inches times my waist measurement by 5, and I'm going to add allowance. So this particular tutorial is going to have a part 2. That's where we are going to be stitching. I didn't want it to be too long, so I just have to stop here, guys. Please subscribe, please turn on the notification button. Thank you.